Most small YouTube channels panic way too early. A video gets no impressions for a few hours, and creators instantly assume the algorithm killed it before it even had a chance. That is exactly what happened to me this week. One of my videos got tested almost immediately, while another sat completely dead for hours with almost no movement at all. At first, I thought YouTube was randomly deciding which videos deserved a chance. But when I started comparing the analytics side by side, I realized something much more important was happening. YouTube was not simply pushing or ignoring the videos. It was testing them in stages, and each stage was measuring a completely different signal. That changed the way I think about impressions completely. Because impressions alone do not actually mean YouTube understands your video yet. When my first Attention Lab experiment went live, it started receiving impressions very quickly. After spending months trapped in the zero impression void on another channel, that initially felt exciting. But then I checked the suggested videos beside mine. And honestly, the audience match was terrible. My video was sitting next to emotional confession content, relationship drama, and completely unrelated creator niches. So yes, YouTube tested the video, but it tested it with the wrong audience. That was the first moment I realized impressions by themselves can be misleading. Because sometimes YouTube is not confidently recommending your content yet, it is just experimenting. Then my second video did almost the opposite. Barely any impressions arrived for hours, and the entire thing looked completely dead. And honestly, I started spiraling a bit. Because when creators see no impressions, the immediate assumption is always that the algorithm rejected the video instantly. But then something strange happened later that night. The impressions suddenly started moving, suggested traffic appeared, and the video finally entered a real recommendation test. The problem was that almost nobody clicked, and this is where most small creators completely misread their analytics. The issue was not that YouTube ignored the video. The issue was that viewers saw the packaging and decided not to click. That is a completely different problem. One is a distribution problem, and the other is a packaging problem. Most creators combine those two things together emotionally. They see low performance and immediately assume the algorithm hates them. But YouTube is actually measuring multiple stages separately. First, it tests whether it understands who the video is for. Then it measures whether people click. Then it measures whether they keep watching and whether they continue watching other videos afterwards. And this is where CTR becomes dangerous for small creators. Because people obsess over it without understanding the bigger context around it. A high CTR from the wrong audience can still hurt a video if those viewers leave quickly. And a lower CTR from the right audience can still become valuable if the retention is strong. That completely changes the way you should interpret analytics, because now the question is no longer just, is my CTR good? The better question becomes, which stage of the test actually failed? Because every failure point points to a different underlying problem. If YouTube is not giving impressions at all, the problem might be audience clarity, topic selection, weak channel history, or low confidence about who the video is for. If impressions arrive but nobody clicks, then the problem is probably the title, thumbnail, topic angle, or emotional tension inside the packaging itself. And if people click but leave quickly, then the issue is probably expectation mismatch. The viewer expected one thing, but the video delivered something different. That distinction matters massively, because if you diagnose the wrong problem, you end up changing the wrong thing. And honestly, I think this is why so many small creators burn out emotionally. They react to analytics before understanding what signal YouTube is actually responding to. A video with no impressions is not the same as a video with bad CTR. And a video with strong CTR is not automatically a successful video either. YouTube is constantly testing whether viewers are satisfied, not just whether they clicked. That is why I started Attention Lab in the first place. Not because I have mastered YouTube already, but because I wanted to publicly test these ideas in real time. Every upload on this channel is becoming an experiment now. What happens if the packaging creates stronger contradiction? What happens if audience alignment improves, but click tension weakens? What happens if YouTube tests the video against the completely wrong recommendation pool? Those questions are much more useful than simply obsessing over views emotionally, because every upload becomes evidence instead of just validation. And honestly, that mindset shift alone has already changed the way I approach YouTube. Instead of panicking, I am starting to look for which signal failed. Did YouTube test the video at all? Did viewers click? Did they stay? Did the recommendation source make sense? Those are the questions that actually matter, because each answer points toward a completely different solution. So if your next upload gets no impressions, do not instantly assume the algorithm killed it forever. First, ask whether YouTube has actually tested the video properly yet. And if impressions appear, but nobody clicks, do not blame the algorithm immediately. The audience saw the offer and rejected it. And if viewers click, but leave quickly, then you may have won the click while still losing the viewer completely. That is the real game on YouTube. Not impressions, not CTR, and not views in isolation. The real game is understanding which stage of the test failed. And once you understand that, the analytics stop feeling random.